Hello, my name's Keith and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about, are your roads open? This is a wonderful video topic and I'm going to teach it all in detail about what you need to know about your roads being open. This used to be a thing taught in the spiritual community a long time ago, but it seems that a lot of spiritualists know that if your roads are a little too open, then you can't get the help that you actually deserve. I fully withdraw myself from the spiritual community and everything I've seen because it seems to be a milking farm. It seems to be people taking advantage of unfortunate people and no one getting true help. When it comes to Florida Stone Man, I teach you exactly what you need to know. I teach you what you need to know to be able to armor yourself spiritually and to not constantly need help. What kind of help am I if you constantly need help after you get help? That's not true help. So the thing is, I teach you guys how to get help once, and so you don't have to keep getting help over and over again. I continue to teach help so you can get empowered, not so that you're constantly in need. The thing is, in the spiritual community, and that's why you don't see a lot of things on open roads or people talking about open roads too much. Even the herbs of Abre Camino, or any kind of, you never hear of road opening crystals, do you? I bet not. Black tourmaline's the #1 road opening crystal, although there's some crystals very specific in opening other roads as well. So start off with black tourmaline. So now the first thing I'm going to talk about was, what is a road? What is a road? You have to understand this. Your entire life is like a video game. What's a video game composed of? It's composed of roads. Different paths that you can take, different avenues that you take. You move different places in life. You meet different people. You have different options. You have different things about yourself that you can change. A different road is, you can change your hair to be long, you can change your hair to be short. Sometimes people don't have an access to a certain road, so certain people can't make their hair short because of their occupation. People can't make their hair, I don't know, it just depends on the person. But there's so many different roads that you can take. And eventually, you come across different things in life as to where you feel stuck upon the road you are on. So you must ask a certain set of questions. And if you guys want to know why my voice sounds different, it's because I'm practicing different techniques. Different crystals do change your voice, so bear with me. So, and yeah, if you can guess what color crystal I used to change my voice, then guess it in the comment section. It's not blue. Hahaha. But I'm going to talk to you more about this, and the sun just peeked upon my video talking about roads open. What are some signs that you feel like your roads are open? Now, signs that your roads are open is that you feel calm, you feel collected, you feel like everything's on the right path. Everything you do is falling into place, even if it takes a little bit of time, but you know you're on the right track. Some signs that your roads are closed is that you're doing what you need to do and nothing seems to be happening. Evil eyes blocking you, negative energies blocking you, you're having all these symptoms of curses, hexes, etc. And it just feels like you just can't get ahead. Now, God, and people are like, why God? It's not about why God, it's about why you. So God is blameless. You cannot blame God for anything that you're going through, especially if you ask him for help and he's helping you. Sometimes it requires you growing as a person, growing as a human species to develop into a stronger version of yourself so you don't encounter the same problems again. Sometimes a blessing will not be handed to you because you can't even hold the blessing. You can't even be able to pick the blessing up. So when it comes to the Most High God, do not blame God for anything because he is blameless. Everything happens because we've manifested it. Every circumstance around us is something we've actually manifested ourselves. Now, when it comes to open and closed roads, what about some closed road signs? Like I said, you're going to feel blocked. You're going to feel like everything you do doesn't work out for you. And you really have to get very honest with yourself. #1, do you work with crystals? If the answer is no, that's one of the reasons. Crystals are energy cleaners. #2, are you using any kind of herbs? Are you tapping into any aspect of your spirituality? And this is the biggest thing. It's because people will think that you're just a physical being. You're not a physical being. You're a physical and a spiritual being. People ask, are you spiritual? Like, I'm spiritual and I'm physical. I address the physical world and I address the spiritual world. So that's how it should be. We are literally spirits inside flesh. How trippy is it for you to wrap your mind around that this, everyone pinch your skin, like not hard, just like a little, like just feel this physical vessel and be like, you've had several other vessels. This is just a vehicle. This is just a car. This is just a boat. They call it a vessel for a reason. A vessel. A vessel. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Without Jesus in your life, you would be dismayed. Never am I going to do that ever again. If you've ever seen that video, that one's awesome. But that's actually what I'm pointing this video to as well, is you have to ask yourself, are you turning yourself to God? Now, if you're hitting all these different roadblocks, if you're not talking to God, the devil is talking to God about you. Of course, you have your ancestors praying. And what do you mean the devil's talking to God about me? Because the devil constantly asks God if he can do things. So if you have not asked God, and the devil's constantly communicating with God, okay, can I do this? Can I do this? Can I do this? Can I get away with that? So if you're talking to God, and God's saying, nope, this person prayed, this person talked to me, nope, you can't do it. So demons have free will, angels have free will, you have free will. Use your free will to move closer to God, because like I said, in this world, it's light or dark. It's specifically that. It's a world war against light versus dark. And it goes into different realms and interdimensions as well. But when it comes to you mastering your roads and opening your roads, so even think about it like this: the gates to heaven, the gates to hell. Everyone talks about gates. Remember, people on spiritualists on I'm not gonna say YouTube in general, it's most platforms are gatekeeping. They teach false information. So you buy a course, so you buy whatever, and you constantly get ran on, but you're like, why isn't nothing changing? It's because it's false help. In this channel, you're gonna get actual help. Like even with Reiki, I suggest, even after you start using crystals, you'll never need to get Reiki again. I said it. You never need to get Reiki again. Most of these people are energetically screwing you out of your energy. So when you get Reiki, you're feeling tired, drained, and sick. It's because you had more energy than they did, and they took it from you. What are you gonna do about it? Except for not get it again. So there's no excuse for that. There's zero excuse. You go to have something done and you feel worse, and you started off with and you're having more symptoms and you're getting worse and worse. You're gonna try to put a fancy label on that? No. Oh, it's energetic healing, it's universal love, and it's you getting, no, you got energetically screwed. Literally. So and even the ancient Egyptians would have self-Reiki techniques with pharaoh rods, pharaoh cylinders. Crystals are self-Reiki. I'll make a video talking about that in the future, but if you feel like your roads are blocked, work with crystals. Heavily work with crystals. Number one, talk to the Most High God. Ask God to put you on the track, because you have to ask yourself, are you asking for your roads to be open? Do you just assume he's going to help you? Imagine how many people who just are in positions right now because they didn't ask. You know, certain people just don't have certain things in life because they didn't ask. So don't just assume that God knows what you need and don't say anything. Actually vocalize and ask him in prayer. Ask God, may I have this? I would like help with that, etc. So be vocal, be open and communicative. Okay, let's skip that word. Communicative. Okay, let's skip that word for now, but open a line of communication between you and the Most High. Then talk to your angels. Even your angels will push you towards certain gemstones. That's why you dream about certain crystals. So let's talk about some crystals that open roads. Black tourmaline does not play around when it comes to opening your roads. Black tourmaline is a road opener. It takes your blessings and it activates your blessings. So what I mean by activate your blessings? Sometimes you guys have blessings, but you can't access them simply because there's so much negative energy and entities around. You can't tap into a ley line of energy. It's like having a well in your backyard that you can't get the lid off of. Black tourmaline will get the lid off of the well. Black tourmaline in the spiritual community is hushed. It is hushed and shushed. Don't talk about black tourmaline. People will call it demonic because that's the only crystal that will allow you to never need a spiritual reader or any kind of spiritual work ever. These people who are trying to say, oh, you get a reading done, oh, you're cursed, because they put a curse on you after the reading because they saw that nothing was wrong and they couldn't help you. Now there's a $3,000 curse removal. No, you wear black tourmaline, you never have to face that again. You don't put up with that. So even people's spiritual manipulative games, black tourmaline will block you from getting spiritually ripped apart. So people will point you to every other crystal except for black tourmaline. You got to ask yourself why. So the only crystal I don't suggest you guys to use is Herkimer Diamond, because it's too much for humans. It'll keep you up for days, and it will make everything feel hazy. It doesn't have any major benefits to it. Give it to your angels, it's very beneficial for them. So that's the only crystal I don't recommend for you guys to use, is because it'll cause major insomnia. There's no real benefits to it. It's an anti-abundance crystal, but that's the only crystal I don't suggest. Black tourmaline's extremely powerful. Look at everyone who ever has a Herkimer Diamond. They're losing their mind. I mean, they essentially lose their mind. I had a whole entire necklace of Herkimer Diamond. That's the necklace from back then. I fought it. I didn't want to believe that a crystal couldn't be worn, so I fought it. And it opens, I mean, it just goes along with other crystals that open your gifts, and they open it to the point where you're just fully ungrounded. So, yeah. So back on how do you know your roads are open? You talk to God, you ask God, you assume that God's sending your prayer that you ask for is on your way. So whatever you ask for, it's now on its way towards you. Sometimes, and you have to keep in mind, some people feel like, and I'm going to teach something in this video as well. Some people, people doing 40 on a 10 speed limit. Ugh. So some people, and what happens when, yeah, a little mini prayer. What happens when people get their roads closed? So like, that's it. That's going to be a good example. So are you in the right? Are you doing right? So that's a reminder, because not everyone who's watching this video is in the right. So if you're breaking law, if you're doing bad things and you're getting caught and you're wondering why you're getting so many speeding tickets and you speed every day, you have to ask yourself, are you doing that to yourself? You're not the victim if you're causing the problems. So be honest with yourself. That's a good reminder, because they came in threes too, so that was meant for me to teach in this video. So make sure you're not the problem. Make sure you're not the one causing issues. Make sure, if you're wondering why all these different issues are going around you, that you're not instigating them. That's the number one thing as well. No, God comes first, and then self-evaluate. Be very honest with yourself. Am I causing problems? So when you go out in public and you're wondering why everyone wants to fight with you, are you making dirty looks at everyone? Are you going like this at everyone? Because that will cause fights. And yeah. So you have to evaluate yourself. What am I doing? What behaviors can I change? Are you the one keeping your own roads closed? God might be sending you a blessing, but if you're the one not to be receptive to it, that's you. That is you. It needs to be said. Now, that's not everyone, because a lot of people on my YouTube channel, they're pretty open and honest with themselves, but self-evaluate yourself. Sometimes you ask God for something, but you're not in a place of receiving because of an action, because of a reaction. Something that you're putting off energetically is closing your roads. So that's one thing about black tourmaline. It helps, it does the shadow work so that you correct aspects about yourself so that you're not constantly being a problem. If there's an entity on you, or if there's an energy on you causing problems, it's going to evaluate that and remove it one way or another. So, which is a good thing for you. So you're receptive to blessings again. That's why black tourmaline works so well. What's another specific road opening crystal? It's South African turquoise. South African turquoise is a very powerful gemstone. It's not turquoise, it's a jasper, but it's known as the road opening stone. It's just that simple. It opens your roads. Paths that have been shut off that you are meant to go on, it's going to be meant for you. Citrine's a road opening crystal. Green aventurine, sporadic. It's very opportunistic road opening crystal. Pyrite's a road opening crystal. Smoky quartz is good for road opening for if you're someone who's moody. Now, these are all road opening crystals. Like I said, evaluate yourself. Make sure you're not the one closing your own roads. Sometimes, and this is the case, sometimes some of you have open roads, but you're not doing anything. So sometimes the gates will be open. Sometimes the gates to abundance will be open, but you're not doing anything. Sometimes some of you are wearing the crystals and you're like, okay, what next? But you haven't put in any deeds, action. You're not manifesting anything. If you're not going to go out and pursue through action, at least manifest. So, and even when you manifest, practice action, take course. So let's just say, like, no jobs are hiring you, but you're not even applying to a single job, but no job is hiring you. Like, you're wondering why your roads are closed. It's because you're not putting enough action in. So put yourself out there. Same thing with, oh, I want my videos to go viral, but you're not posting any videos. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm afraid of rejection. So make sure you're getting this, you're doing the shadow work behind this, and you're not your own worst enemy when it comes to that. Make sure you're not your own worst enemy. You're talking to God, number one. you're working with crystals. A good road opening incense, Star Anise. Aubrey Camino is number one. It's open roads, but Van oil you can get online. Lemongrass, citronella, lemon, orange. You can burn these as incenses. They'll open your roads. But like I said, make sure you're following through. So a lot of times people will do something to open their roads, and like a week after, it seems like it stops working. When it doesn't stop working, is your roads are open. So be honest with yourselves. You get the best gemstones you can ever get your hands on. Check out floridastoneman.com for life-changing gemstones that will change your life. Check out the testimonies on my website. There are a lot of them, and people are experiencing their roads being opened every single day by black tourmaline as a necklace on my website. If you have any questions, you may feel free to ask them in the comment section. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.